What's up, everybody? Tim Brady here for another NED sales training. So today we're out of the NED studios and we're out in the field and we're at the Baltimore, Maryland branch. And with me today is my good friend, Celeste Holman. Come on, don't be shy, don't be shy. And what we're gonna do today is we're gonna discuss all the tools that you could use to become successful as an Orkin sales inspector.
Studio?
Actually, I usually use my apartment. But anyway, it's not in the budget. It's not in the budget. All right, so Celeste, I've been out in the field with you. You do one of the best inspections I've ever seen, and you have some gadgets here that are awesome.
Okay.
And so I just want to show everybody out there. You know, well, I'm not going to show you because they're your tools. Okay. So what we got here? What do we do? What do we got?
Well, aside from like all the normal stuff that we all need, like your flashlight. Everybody needs one of these, right?
Right.
Right. Okay, great. That's a necessity. Respirator. Do your respirator checks. Always at every 30 days, changing your cartridge, right?
Right.
Correct. Got that. Alcohol
Always
wipes.
use a respirator in an attic.
Always. Alcohol wipes, wiping it out after every use. Ziploc bags. Always put it in your Ziploc bag, right?
Good tip.
Your little demos, samples, all that good kind of good stuff. Popping them open, showing them to people. Can't get any better than that, people. Showing them what they like.
Showing the samples, have samples so people see it, feel it, touch it. That's cool.
Yeah,
like it,
all
like
that
it.
good stuff. Your camera. Say cheese, y'all. Say cheese, Tim. Peace out. Okay. Memory cards. Always, always, always have memory cards. Extra memory cards. Memory cards are your friends.
Why would you have extras?
Well, you never know. These little plastic things on the backside get bent a little bit here and there, and I've had mine not read sometimes. So rather than sitting there and fighting them in the car, it's just better just to pull one out and just go forth from there.
Have a backup.
Have a backup, yep.
Okay.
Same thing with batteries. When you have cameras sometimes, it's good to either have backup batteries, which you can purchase, or have an extra camera that carries the same battery, or buy a camera that uses regular old store shelf batteries, like double A's.
So you have two cameras.
I do. I have two cameras.
Why?
Well, I've had this camera not work on me for whatever reason. I sent it back to the manufacturer. They sent me a new one. But in the meantime, I had to have something to use to work with. Didn't want to run to my manager. Didn't want to have to wait for a camera. I know he didn't want to hear me crying.
Right.
She didn't want to hear me crying. So you got to do what you got to do.
Okay. Have a backup in case one fails.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we got rid of the sample. When you go to get an attic, a lot of attics are painted shut. It's really nice to have a straight edge to be able to just cut that paint very, very, very gently. Very gently.
Okay.
Gently. Right along the edge so you can get to the attic. There's never an excuse not to get in an attic, people. All right. Screwdriver. Knocking on the wood. Going around the house. This is more of a weapon than inspection tool. But also to move insulation from box cells because of my stature. It's hard sometimes to get back into the box cells. So this is actually really good to get back in some areas. Not only that, but we all have those customers where they stack things like 3 feet from the wall. If you've got to get back and look in the corners, this really helps a lot.
Okay. Digging a mulch, looking in the insulation, stuck in the basements.
Yep. And in the attics, moving that big insulation out of the way while you take a picture, that helps great too, so you're not right down on it. Always pick up the insulation in the attic, look underneath the insulation. Lots of goodies hidden there. Your trusty phone, hello.
Right.
Always gotta have your phone. Your iPad. Dun, dun, dun.
Again, pointing out the obvious.
Yep, these are all
Gotta have an
obvious
iPad,
things.
a fully charged iPad.
A fully charged iPad. Your bump cap. I have the bun, but we can leave that on Tim for now.
It doesn't even fit on my head.
I know, it's because you got a big noggin. Your crawl suit. Yeah, it's not nice to go home. We crawl through enough poo. It's always nice to go into a customer's house looking a little bit clean and refreshed. So let's not go into crawl spaces and attics, iffy, but let's not go into crawl spaces without our crawl suits on.
Tyvek suit, very important.
Tyvek suits are absolutely important. You don't want to go into a crawl space that's even damp without a Tyvek on. Knee pads. You know, it really doesn't look good to walk into a house with a customer to do a proposal and have wet knees. You know, and there's that.
Plus, it hurts.
Yeah, you know, they grab.
Crawling on rocks and stuff like that in crawl spaces,
Yeah,
absolutely. Knee
I'm not a
pads,
fan.
important.
Are you? Okay.
No.
Not good for them either. Your memory card reader. What are you supposed to? How are you supposed to get the pictures from the iPad to your, or from your camera to your iPad without your little memory card reader? Say hi. Hi. All right. Your wheel. Dun, 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 dun. Your wheel, so you can graph the house. Many of us, when we're doing these graphs and stuff, those of you who are new, I encourage you to just tell them we're updating the files. Do the graphs and send them to yourself. Then you have them on your iPad, and you have them actually in your sent email. You can always look them up next year when you go back to the houses if you want to reinforce your proposals from the previous year. All right.
Good little tip.
Good little tip. You also know what you propose them and how much you propose them in case they lost the emails. This is a good one. Your ladder. For those of you who don't have one, this is a telescoping ladder. These work great. Little Giants are also great, but these will get you about 15 feet up in the air.
Very important to have a ladder because it looks cheesy when you go to a customer's house and you ask to borrow theirs.
Yeah. These are nice to walk through the house so you don't bump their home either, bump into the walls and such. For those, we all are not expected to know everything all the time. It's nice to have, sometimes we forget things. It's nice to have a Pest ID guide, just to refresh our memory sometimes. To flip through these, house crickets, fruit flies, cockroaches. Also, our residential pocket reference guide just gives you some information. There's also a services guide around that you can ask your service manager for that actually refresh your memory about the services we offer and just give you some background information about why we offer those services and what to look for. Those are the obvious things.
They are very obvious.
Anything else about the obvious?
No.
Okay, let's go for the not so obvious. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, how many people use these?
Hopefully everybody, right?
Does it go in your head?
Come on now.
All right, sorry. This is a boot cover or a shoe cover. Every house, every time, we are professionals, okay? I don't care how nasty the house is or how dirty the house is. It is someone's castle. It is someone's home. Boot covers, shoe covers, every house. Even if they tell you you don't have to use them, be respectful and use them.
It's just what we do.
It's what we do, okay? And when they ask and they tell you no, just go, it's what we do. No excuses, people. All right. What is this, Tim?
Tape.
Tape. What do we use tape for?
Well, I use it for sealing envelopes.
Okay.
I use it for hanging pictures on my refrigerator that my kids draw at school.
So we use it for hanging your kids against walls? I've seen that thing on Facebook before.
My kids are great.
Okay. Every kid is great, right?
No, just mine.
Okay. People, this is something that's really, really inexpensive. You can put it on your wrist or your arm if you're going in a house for a bed bug inspection, or for those people who claim something's biting them. Or even if you're just going in a house for an inspection about a type of fly or something you're not familiar with, you can take samples. Very gently, push it down on something, and then put it on the back of a piece of white paper. It gives you an opportunity to set it down and look at it. Saying that, it's always nice to have a little microscope with you of some sort to kind of take a look and see something. There are also little tiny keychain microscopes that you can get that can actually help you see. And this will actually help you tell the difference between a carpet beetle sometimes and a bed bug, where you might not be able to see their moltings.
Where'd you get that?
I actually got off of eBay, about $4. We bought a couple dozen of them, myself and one of the other inspectors. But they worked great, they worked fabulous. It was a perfect angle, and you can see exactly what you're looking at.
Gotcha.
Customers love them too, because then they know what they're buying for and why they're buying. So these are also great little tools. Get those out of the way. Okay. This is a nifty little gadget that our former regional sales manager got us. These come in great handy, very, very handy when we're doing the gutter inspections, guys. I think they're like $5 at stores like Five Below and stuff now. You set it up, hook up your Bluetooth, go in the gutters, people. Not too high up. See Tim's head. You can see how clogged the gutters are. It also helps when you're going into attics, get down into the eaves, to kind of see if there's droppings and such, runs, tracks, anything like that. Also up in gable vents, if your ladder doesn't reach that high, to see bats and other kind of good things. Works wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Tim.
Oh, sure.
All right. Screwdrivers. To get in those crawl spaces, just a little ratcheting screwdriver. Power tools lose their batteries too quick. This is a little, $5, $10 multi-bit ratcheting screwdriver. A little tiny one. Just it comes in handy. I've never.
Again, when you come across a crawl space that's screwed shut, you just look more professional that you have your own screwdriver opposed to asking for the customer to use theirs.
No reason not to get in that crawl space. Okay?
Never a reason not to get in the crawl space.
No reason not to sell that dry zone if you you can avoid it. All right. Attic tents, people. They sell attic tents. In some branches, they sell door sweeps. Measure the crawl space opening for the dehumidifier to make sure it fits. To measure the rafters, 1624 for our solar snap and for our insulation. Also measure from the piers to the walls and the crawl space and the height of the crawl space. So when you're doing your pricing sheet, you know what you're measuring. Okay.